Hi guys, and welcome to my video on the Continental Sport Attack 4 tyre. The reason I'm doing this video is firstly because I wanted to have a look at loads of different tyres, to be fair, and I couldn't find a video on this tyre at all other than the actual Continental one. So please excuse my video in the first instance because this is the first time I've actually done a YouTube video, but I just wanted to make sure that if there were anybody else looking for a really good high performance tyre, not at a ridiculous price, then to take a look at my video. Firstly, excuse my lovely R6. Unfortunately it is a little bit dirty, but don't hold it against me because I'm about to clean it. So the Sport Attack 4 tyre from Continental is the latest high performance hypersport tyre from Continental, engineered and made in Germany. And let's be honest, German engineering has always been renowned, so if you've got any questions on this, then either pop them in the link to me, I can give you a shout, or do a little bit of research. So the Sport Attack 4 tyre, it's a tyre made in 2020, it's just been released, it's available in the UK, not sure if it's available in the US yet, so best go to your stockist. Revzilla, I know, is a big supplier with you guys. It's a direct replacement for the Sport Attack 3. Which was a great tyre, to be fair. The Sport Attack 2, I know guys who still run Sport Attack 2 tyres now. Taking a similar tread pattern to the Sport Attack 3, actually has lost some grooves, which I'll explain later when I discuss and talk about the compound of the tyres. A lot of the major selling points of the Sport Attack 3, so if I go through them really briefly, so the 0 degree steel belt, so it's basically a belt that goes all the way under the tyre, promotes stability at high speed and while cornering as well. The traction skim, which if I go into it here, you can see it's this slightly mottled surface, and it comes out of the mould like that. It's really quite clever. Means that there's far less, and I'm saying far less rather than what Continental will tell you, but it's far less of a scrubbing time that you need to kind of use the tyre before you can really start hammering it, really. The multi-grip, so you'll see there's no compound changes in the tyre whatsoever. It is a single compound tyre, and what that means is that the centre of the tyre is effectively baked a little bit longer than the sides of the tyre, and by doing so you get a single compound tyre with the characteristics of a multi-compound tyre. And I'm not going to lie, I do prefer single compound tyres. I just don't like that definite difference in feel between the hard compound and the soft compound part of the tyre. The multi-grip is what it's called. So the grip limit feedback is the last point, and grip limit feedback is basically when you're on the edge of the tyre, which you can see I'm not on yet because I've only done about 200-300 miles, is a definite difference in feel. So they are very sensitive. You really do feel where the grip is, but at the same time when you're on the edge, you do get a definite you're on the edge now. Kind of wind it in, or kind of don't go any more crazy, otherwise you'll end up low siding. It's really interesting, actually, the technology that goes into tyres. So if you're not sure, have a look. There's other YouTube videos available from Continental that can go into these little things a little bit more in more detail. But the major difference between this and the Sport Attack 3 is the compound. Now, Black Chili is a name that's banded around. Black Chili is a combination of high silica and high carbon black in the tyre. So I know that kind of Pirelli course and things like that, you can literally rub your hand down the tyre and they're black because of the amount of carbon black they use. Silica promotes really good wet weather performance, and the carbon black also helps with regards to kind of dry and wet weather performance as well. So really interesting that they've totally changed the compound whilst keeping some of the characteristics of the Sport Attack 3. Wet performance and dry performance I'll go into a little bit shortly, but so far, I'm not going to lie, really impressive. So I'm just going to show you the front. So as you can see, really interesting tread pattern, very similar, like I say, but the major things you'll notice on these tyres is that there's very little tread grooves near the edge of the tyre. Loads and loads of rubber on the edge of the tyre. So whilst you are can have a blast in the dry, I wouldn't be going crazy in the wet, but if you do, then you're probably going to be hitting a tree anyway. So currently I've done about 300 miles. I think the noticeable difference on these, if you can see, is the shape of the tyre. And when I first got these tyres, I really noticed that I was diving into corners far more than I was before. Before I had the Continental Motions, they came on the tyre. I've had this bike about a year. Felt it was now time to get some new shoes. And to be honest with you, I was a little bit nervous as I wasn't confident and I felt like I was riding on ice. So I took the bike on a 20-mile trip. Nothing crazy, just down the A1M. Kind of took it 70, 80 miles an hour. I then got back home, washed the tyres, and whether that made any difference at all or not, I'm not sure, but it felt much better. I took a 200 trip with the UK Yams group. So anybody in Yamahas, check out the UK Yams on Facebook and join the group. And grip was just fantastic. Loads of grip, cornering grip, great. Turn into corners was so good. Dry weather performance was fantastic. I just felt like I was just flipping the bike from side to side with absolutely no effort at all. Recent weather hasn't been good, so I've been doing some wet weather riding as well. And again, taking nice and steady, nice and sensibly, and had confidence in corners, and it just felt great. So the reduction in the grooves has, because of the compound, has meant that actually they've got some better wet weather performance out of the tyres rather than worsening that performance. So you've got a Hypersport tyre that works really well in the dry and is competent in the wet as well. But at the end of the day, the tread grooves are less so around the edge, so don't be going crazy. As you can see, I haven't. My chicken strips are alive and well. But then again, I've only done 300 miles. I'm going to take it steady for another maybe a couple of 100 miles. And once I feel confident, then we can start hitting those corners a little bit more than I have been already. So overall, price-wise, I picked these up for £223 from Tyre Tech Trading in Enfield. Really pleased with the service there. They kind of they ship all over the UK, so get onto the Tyre Tech Trading website. It's a bit of a tongue twister, that one. I had them fitted in Royston in Hertfordshire for £45, but feel that noise. Both the links to these companies are in the description, so click in that. So £268 puts them at about the price point of a Michelin Pilot Road 4. And I've ridden the Road 4s, they're great tyres, really good in the wet. If you've got a sport touring bike, then they're fantastic tyres. If you want something a little bit quicker, a little bit more energetic, then they aren't the quickest of tyres, but fantastic tyres nonetheless. Obviously the Road 5s have come out and are very popular with a lot of the guys that I ride with. Overall, the Sport Attack 4s, if you're not exactly on a budget, but if you want a great tyre that performs really well, you're not into that dual compound, you just want something that's simple, effective, is really good off the shelf, then give the Sport Attack 4s a shout. Like I say, there's nothing else on YouTube I can find, so hence the video. If you've got any questions, then you can always hit me up in the comment section, and I will do my best to help. But take care, enjoy the weather, safe riding, and enjoy yourselves. Take care, see you later, bye.